Hello YouTube, it's Sarah and this is another adventure of being Sarah. I messed up the last one and it was already getting a little longer than I wanted. This is my 5th attempt at this particular video. I hit the wrong thing when I went to pick this up. This will become apparent why in a second. So yeah. So first thing is I hope you had a good run up to Christmas and a good Christmas if you celebrate and a good Tuesday if you didn't. I was sick as a dog on the 2 days before Christmas. Yay, stomach virus! And then the boyfriend was sick 2 days after Christmas. Yeah. I had to miss the GURPS game, which I really was interested in finding out what happened, but trust, it was not going to go well if I even attended on the computer. I couldn't even pick up the needle for a couple days because I had zero interest in doing anything other than sleeping and drinking water. Water was great. Lots of water was great. Anyway, so I am all better. I feel much better. This is one of my Christmas gifts from my sister. It's pretty much almost floor length, which is just weird. So she had me try on all the shirts she got me because she likes going and shopping for other people for clothes. And so she's like, I like dressing you. Thanks. It's a little weird, but hey, I get clothes and I don't have to go shopping, so yay. One of the things was a sparkly purple long sleeve sweater. The reason why that's hilarious is it was longer than the sleeves were longer than my arms. I am not a small person. I'm short, but I'm not a small person. This thing looked like I was a 5-year-old wearing mommy's shirt. I kid you not. It was ridiculously large. I'm convinced that it was at least a size bigger than what was on the label. I don't know. It was hilarious. Yeah. Anyway. So, yeah, I got a good giggle out of that. But it wasn't scratchy. And hopefully it will be still returnable so she can maybe find a smaller size for me. Because it was nice. It was just ridiculously over large. And if the sleeves were about like that much shorter, well, about that much shorter, I would have been happy to keep the sweater because it was a nice sweater, but oh my, ridiculous. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, that's not the point of this. I got off onto a tangent. The point of this is bears. So, there was a picture that I had seen on Facebook years ago about this police officer whose mom had made him had given him a stuffed teddy bear. And he was like, what is this for? And she was like, everybody needs a bear. So he kept it in his vehicle. And then, I think this was over in England, but I don't know. It would still apply here. Anyway, so he went to some sort of, I want to say it was a house fire? It's been years. Anyway, so he went to this house fire and there was a little kid who was super upset, and so he was like, how can I help this kid? And then he remembered the bear and he went to go get the bear from the vehicle, and he's like, hey, can you take care of this bear for me? And of course this distracted the kid, and then he told his mom about this whole incident, and she started making more bears, and then he was giving them out. And so back August of last year there was a series of break-ins, and I say break-ins like that because the vehicles weren't actually locked, so there was no actually breaking, just entering. But of course people were super upset because their things were stolen, and of course it's very upsetting. And so they formed a neighborhood watch group, and at the beginning I was the only one that was going, but then my mom started going with me, and it's been actually a really nice little group, even though it's severely whittled down from the original. But still, it's good to hear about the various things that are going on in the neighborhood, and like if you have any problems, where can you who should you contact, stuff like that. And then we also have guest speakers that come and tell us things. I'm still waiting for the canine unit because doggies. I know it's not fluffy, happy doggies, but still doggies. Anyway, so we've had 2 different community liaison officers. There was one, and then he moved to a different position in the department, and then this other one came in, and they've both been really good. And so at the beginning, I asked the first one, I was like, hey, do you think this could be a thing? And he was like, well, sure. And he told me that they get a lot of toys, but the special ones stay in the community. And my bears definitely will qualify as that. And they're not big bears, so you can stuff them in a pocket, like a man's jacket pocket or something like that. So that's toteable for an officer. And I gave a couple to the sheriff, and I'm thinking about maybe giving some more to him, and possibly to my friend who is a firefighter, so she can take them and give them out to kids there, just various places. And the reason why I have so many bears and I do so many bears is because of my job. I know, it's like, what? You work in cash posting, you find the invoices and match them to the monies, and it's like Where's Waldo, but with money, which is the very short version of what I do. Well, one of the things I do is an upload that I have to do every single morning. Sorry, my brain just blanked out on what I should say and what I shouldn't say, or what I have said or haven't said. Anyway, I spaced for a second. Anyway, so I have to upload this, and one of the systems, it doesn't matter if I'm doing things, because it's something that I'm actually doing. But another one is where the system, it goes on automatic. Well, it can be very tempting to be like, oh, I just got an email. Click. Well, if I do that, the data upload thing goes insane. And it's a right pain to fix it. Sometimes it just doesn't, it forgets what it's doing, and it starts jumping ahead. And I'm like, what are you doing? No, stop that. You're embarrassing me in front of people. Yes, that's what I've actually said to the computer. Anyway, so I figured out that if I'm working on some sort of, we don't have paper tasks there. It's all on the computer, etc. So I can't do anything. I don't have a second computer. Anyway, but if I'm doing something like that, crocheting or cross stitch or whatever that is keeping my hands busy, then I'm not likely to go, refresh. Oh, that's not good. That sort of thing. And sometimes the system gets slow and starts spinning, like especially if I'm posting something, or if I do a transaction lookup where I'm like, hey, is this invoice still open? Let's go look, search. And then sometimes that can take a while. Sometimes they have to do something called bounce the Tomcat, which I think means they restart it. I don't know. That's just my assumption. What they do something to it, and we all have to get out of the thing. Anyway, so during this data upload, which is the most time when I do this, and then I've taken to doing on my breaks or lunch or whatever. Anyway, I crochet teddy bear parts, or I put them together depending on if I have parts to put together. Anyway, so my bosses know that I do this. They think the bears are absolutely adorable. Everybody, I have random people I've never met at this job walking past through our area and going, oh my gosh, I love your bears. I'm like, thank you. And I don't go through my whole spiel of why I do them. But so I had gotten a few done, and I like to, I put them in plastic, like Kroger bags, just Kroger bags or Food Lion bags or whatever. I put all the parts in a bag, and then I like fold up the bag and put it in a sack and wait until I have enough to decide, okay, I'm going to stuff them at home. So I bring them home and I stuff them, and then I take them back and I sew them together. So yeah, I had to re-record this because it was making a lot of noise because I'm talking with my hands. So I have this many that I have stuffed, but not yet put together. And I was watching Michelle Bendy stitching while I was stuffing those. She was keeping me company while she was stitching. But one of the ones that I have, which has to do with this, which is, I don't know if you can really see exactly how super bright, oh my gosh, it's like ridiculously bright, comes into play. And the reason for that is because I had gone to AC Moore, and they have like these little $1 skeins of yarn, and it's like a sample size or something like that. I was like, oh, hey, orange. Hey, I was wanting to get some orange, and that's only $1. Okay. So I got 2. I should have gotten all because I started using the yarn, and it was really nice yarn. Really nice yarn for $1 that I can get at least a bear out of. I think I got almost a bear and a half out of one skein of yarn. I'm like, holy crap, this is really good yarn. I should go back. And they had 2 left, so I have 2 and most of a third. Oh well. But I got the idea. I'm like, oh, I should do candy corn bear. So I'd have orange and then some yellow and a little bit of white, just like the candy. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's gonna be adorable. And so everybody who I've mentioned this to has been like, oh my gosh, that would be adorable. You should totally do that. And so I did. And so it was bear parts, and I put it together. And this is the whole reason that I have babbled for 13 minutes almost. Well, okay, more like 45 because I've had to redo this. And anyway, so here is the candy corn bear. I do tie the legs together because until they're given out, because while they kind of look like they want to do splits, and if the legs are tied together for a while, it helps encourage it to stand up straight, which can also be helpful because I display them above my computer at work, and people see them. And yes, there's a little tail. It's adorable. And they have very winning little personalities. I've been making them since the early 90s. But yes, it's the candy corn bear, and oh my gosh, I think it turned out wonderful. So, I have no idea when I'm going to film. I'm hoping to get things together to possibly film maybe the 3rd or 4th, because I have those 2 days off because they decided to convert like 6 of us into full-time employees. Yay! From being temps, which sorry, my throat is dry because I've been babbling. Anyway, so, and I realize I say that a lot. Oops. So that starts on the 7th, and so we have PTO from our temp positions, which is, to me, is just weird because I've been a temp before from 7 out of 8 years or something like that, and there was no such thing as paid holidays or PTO or anything like that. There was certainly no health insurance. Oh well. A lot of things has changed as a temp, and it's gotten better. So I had to use this time off, and so I get to take 2 days off. Yay! So it's a 4-day weekend for me. Much better than this whole Christmas debacle of the, do you have a bucket, dear? Oh, I'm so glad. Bring it here. Because, yeah, that was fun. Not. So, I have more orange. I have more yellow. I have some more white. I think it's, it's over there. I have some yarn over here. Yeah, so I'm going to make more candy corn bears. I want to say I have at least 22 waiting to be given to the first responders to give out to kids. People have been just awesome about the bears that I have, and it's like, oh, there's new bears. They're so cute. So I think this little guy turned out wonderful. I am super happy with this. I kind of almost want to do a girl, because there's a girl version. She has a skirt and no tail, but no pot belly either. Anyway, so I don't know, but I think I may sew at least one more bear together, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And if it's not before New Year's, have a happy New Year's if you can, and alright, bye!